What's up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And welcome, guys, to the weekly headliner update, week number 64. Now, if you're new to the weekly headliner, this is where we discuss what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and then we recap the important topics from the previous week as well. A lot to talk about here this week. Pocket Dimension obviously goes live tonight. We're going to talk about that, the details there. We're going to talk about my final team that I do have locked in, and then my thoughts on the overall event and rewards that we're getting here. We also do have the anniversary event that's live right now. Really, I will say it's a good event. We've had some back-to-back free-to-play events right now, or at least back-to-back free-to-play completion events with this event and also the Morbius event. And I'm starting to realize a little bit of a trend and pay attention to here with the last event and also this event. We'll talk about that as well in this video. We also have some juicy data mines last week, some concerning ones I will say, and then some also interesting ones that are coming our way. We'll talk about that here in this video, and literally probably so much more that we're going to discuss on the weekly headliner as well. And we're going to start right now. All right, y'all, welcome back. And like I said, the first thing I wanted to talk about is Pocket Dimension. I want to say I'm happy mostly to see this back. I do think that there's some things that bother me, but let's talk about Pocket Dimension overall first, and we'll talk about what bothered me towards the end here. But I think it's a good event. It's an opportunity for a lot of players here to be able to get some teal gear, which I think is very important for a lot of players right now, especially with the way that the teal gear accumulation, or the ability to accumulate teal gear, has been over the past 4 to 5 months. But some good food. They talked about the first time rewards here, the fully crafted superior T15s, the augmented gear, the promo credits, the random pieces, superior and augmented. They talked about it that's for your first run, and then your time run that's here as well. Some pretty good stuff there. If you actually jump also into msf.gg, click on the maps, and then also click on that drop down menu and click on Pocket Dimension, then you individually can see what you are going to get for completing each mission as well. Some pretty good rewards. Want to point out, if you hover over mission 8, you will see that you can get 50 symbiote Spider-Man shards. That was not mentioned in this blog post, so I'm not sure if that was something that was, if that 50 symbiote Spider-Man shards is like a placeholder, or if they just omitted that information in the blog post. That's the reason why they omitted that information in the blog post. I have no idea what's going on there, but that was kind of confusing. But overall, some pretty good stuff that's there. In terms of the characters, I made a video and talked about what I think the best characters are, who I think the most optimal lineup is. I think from a meta perspective, I did talk about that as well, like Scarlet Witch, Morbius, Ghost Rider. Like, those probably make the most sense. If you have Doctor Strange Heartless, that also makes sense too, but I'm not bringing in my Doctor Strange Heartless. He only has 2 stars. I'm not sure his viability right now, but if I did at least have 3 on him, I probably would have brought him up and probably getting down to like 75 and 14. But be that as it may, Black Bolt, Night Nurse, Yo-Yo, Ghost Rider, I'm going to be finishing him off, bring him up to 75 and 14. Once reset happens tonight, I'm already over my gold budget for the day that I want to spend. And then Morbius, I'm going to be bringing in those characters as well. I am keeping in my back pocket just in case I need to, bringing in Scarlet Witch as an option, and maybe even potentially Nick Fury, because Nick Fury needs to get to 75 and 14 anyways. But the characters are okay. The rewards that you're getting are pretty good. I know that they're going to be helpful for a lot of players. My biggest gripe and my biggest frustration was the communication of this event. We logged into the game a couple days ago and we just saw this timer for Pocket Dimension, and I was like, huh? There was no in-game mail about this. There was no Discord message. There was no Reddit message. Like, what the hell? Like, Pocket Dimension, you're lying, right? It was just crazy to see that. And one of the things that really frustrated me, and one of the messages that I sent over to the devs is, and I'll read you what I sent over to them. I'm pretty much just basically expressing my thoughts, and the reason why I was a little frustrated with the communication on this is some quick thoughts on Pocket Dimension. I think in general, folks are happy to see it come back. It has been quite some time. However, I do think there should have been some information provided sooner. It's just good business practice to do so. Although the number of people it affects is minimal, there are still a number of players that could have benefit from having more of a heads up on an event like this that has some much needed rewards. The resources given in this game are not infinite, and players need to plan out their investments. A 4 days notice, in my opinion, is just not good enough, and I don't even recall there being an in-game notice that said that this will go live. This concerns me because we have some high investment events coming like Scourge. Will you do the same? But my question was, will you do the same for an event like that too, right? We have a new Darkhold team, players still trying to catch up with Dark Hunters. I'm just asking that Boundless, please keep this more in mind, or please keep in mind, I'm asking that Boundless, please be more mindful of that, is what I said. And honestly, that was my biggest gripe. The communication, we should have known ahead of time. I would have appreciated a 10 days notice. Hey, Pocket Dimension is coming, or even just say, hey, after the patch, Pocket Dimension is going to be coming. You're going to need characters that have that disciple trait, just something, or after the patch, just doing it there. I don't know, man. I just would have appreciated a little bit more of a heads up notice that this was going to be coming so that players could efficiently plan out their roster. There's so many players who are just kind of like frantically trying to upgrade Dark Hunters, but also trying to save gear because of Darkhold. It's just, come on, man. I would have appreciated a little bit more of that, and I'm pretty sure that some of you guys are probably in the same boat as well. But overall, looking forward to Pocket Dimension. We are going to be streaming that tonight on Twitch, so if you're not following me, there's a link down below to follow me on Twitch. I'm going to be going through all of Pocket Dimension with the characters I just mentioned, and I'm also as well probably going to record the last 3 notes of missions 8, 9, and 10, and probably be posting those on YouTube. So come catch me, come hang out, guys. Hopefully it will be fun. All right, guys, so shifting gears here, I wanted to talk about the anniversary event. I think overall it's been a pretty good event. Both events recently, right? So the Morbius event and also this anniversary event as well have been completable free to play. And I like that they're going in this direction. Some may say, oh man, like, you know, they should have been doing this a long time ago. I agree. I definitely agree with you. If that's your stance on it, I definitely agree with that. But a lot of really good stuff here. So, you know, spending campaign energy, you're getting double points, double cauldrons for the campaign energy. You have your daily objectives, doing raid, your arena battles, RTA. Really heavy on the blitz side though. So I think the calculation, in order for you to be able to complete all the milestones for the successful brew milestones, which are this one in game right now, which is tied toward the anniversary event, you have to do about 4 to 5 rotations at about 30 wins per rotation in order for you to be able to complete all the milestones that are here and get all of the 85,000 points. So that's not really great, right? Because I don't like blitzing. I know a lot of you guys probably don't like blitzing as well, especially when you have to do a lot of blitzing for a character that's not really worth blitzing for, right? Yes, I know we're getting points for this event, but a little frustrating nonetheless. The cauldrons that you need to spend in the event store, I think it's been pretty good. I think it's been pretty good. I've been grabbing a lot of augmented gear here, a lot of origin gear for me, because there's a lot of characters that I realize when I do my spreadsheets, it's really origin gear that I'm missing a lot of. I feel like I can get the mini uniques. It's really the origin gear that's really been hurting me. And then every now and again, if I have some extra, I'll pop down here, see what sort of G14s are here, and I'll grab them as well. I've been grabbing a lot of mystic gear, as you can probably imagine, right? But overall, very good event. Just think it's a little too heavy on the blitz side. But I will say this, between the last event and also this event right now, Morbius, and then now the successful brew event anniversary milestone, there's been a lot of Armory 15s and a lot of Armory 14s that we have been getting from both of these events. And I'm wondering if that's sort of a way that they're kind of tackling this G14 crunch that we have, right? I know a lot of players have a massive G14 crunch right now. I know I've lost quite a bit after upgrading the Web Warriors. I know I lost a little bit from upgrading the Weapon X team. I'm kind of stabilizing a little bit. I think I'm up to like 250 of those Armory 14s now again. But still, like, I know I was quite depleted when I first upgraded those teams. I was like under 100 per piece. So for me, I like that they're kind of starting to upgrade or give us a little bit of these bottlenecks. I'm concerned though, what happens when these events are done? Then we're not getting that many Armory 14s anymore. Would like to still see them add a little bit more to the raid milestones. Would like to see them add that back to the Doom raids, right? They kind of cut it off as soon as you got to Doom raids. You're not getting as much Armory 14s anymore. I think once you went from Doom 1 to Doom 2, they also cut off the Armory 15s. So would like to see them address the bottleneck a little bit more consistently where that is concerned. But from the event perspective, I definitely do like that they've actually addressed some of the Armory 14 and the Armory 15 bottlenecks that we do have there. So good event overall. Those are my thoughts on it. I like it way too heavy on the blitzing, but I do like the rewards. The superior osmium, the 25 pieces of orange superior osmium, that's at milestone 29. Really nice touch here. And of course, I have not been able to get any of the teal osmiums, so looking forward to being able to get one of these like 6 pieces that are in here right now. Looking forward to being able to get, or is that 8 pieces? 8 pieces that you'll be able to get of these, the augmented osmium. That's a nice touch as well. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this event overall. Those are my thoughts. Let's talk about some of this stuff here. All right, so next few things I wanted to run through here are some data mines. The first one I wanted to talk about is the Apocalypse data mine. So this one came out last week, and some concerns by a lot of players because you saw this data mine, it said Apocalypse, and you went to the unlocked star level here and you saw 7 stars. Now, I personally did not feed too much into this. I'm going to be honest with you, because when I look at this data mine, I'm like, that data mine literally makes 0 sense to me whatsoever, because if he's a 7-star unlock, then if we jump into the blog post that talked about Morgan Le Fay and how she's going to get released, where is it? Right here. They've said the recommended difficulty. Whenever we get to the recommended difficulty is going to be what? Gear tier difficulty 10, gear tier 19 plus. Yeah. Okay, buddy. If that's the expectation that I'm going to be unlocking Apocalypse with a gear tier level that's not even in the game yet, I'm sorry, boo boo, you stupid. So those are kind of that. And when I say you stupid, I'm talking about Scopely, if that's your expectation. But like for me personally, I was not really too bothered by this, because there's still so much information that we do not have. What we do know, that the first Scourge event, we're going to have Morgan Le Fay. We know that Morgan Le Fay is going to be a 3-star unlock. We can see it right here, right? What we've been told in the blog post so far is that if you get to difficulty 5, you should be able to unlock Morgan Le Fay. I'm taking that at face value. I'm waiting to see and receive some more information, and then I'm going from there. I have no idea what the remaining Scourge events are going to look like. I have no possible clue. My thoughts, though, in terms of like a theory or speculation, is that the next legendary horsemen are probably going to cover all of these individual traits, right? So right now we have Morgan Le Fay, which is a mystic character. She has a mystic team. I think probably the next legendary horsemen are probably also going to have their own teams that are within like their origin traits, right? So like tech, bio, skill, with probably the last team being Apocalypse's team that is a mutant team. That's my speculation. Nowhere have I seen or heard any of this information. It's literally just me speculating. That's probably what's most likely going to happen here. So until then, I'm just not freaking out like maybe some of you guys have been. I will say this though, if they do make him a 7-star unlock, then they stupid. Like just how simple as that. We already know they're greedy, but they definitely would be stupid if they definitely did something like that. But the next data mine I wanted to talk about here was the Doctor Strange Heartless's data mine. So this information popped out this week or last week on the patch day as well. This is the reason why this is interesting, is because they're going to be introducing right above my big old head right here this new heroic difficulty commander, which requires that you be at least at commander level 68 in order for you to be able to enter and try it. Now we know that they mentioned before that this new event that they were going to make some changes to the event campaigns with the difficulty. So that's a new heroic difficulty, but they're also adjusting. They're getting rid of the medium difficulty. It's just going to be a hard difficulty and then an easy difficulty preceding the new heroic difficulty. In the blog post, they talked about the Familiar Knowledge event campaign, which is Doctor Strange Heartless's campaign, which is going to start next week, Tuesday, after Pocket Dimension is over. I just had to mention that because I'm mad about it. But let's continue to proceed here. What they did is that they changed it so that this new heroic difficulty is going to be more challenging per mission or per node, right? So they listed it out here, what their recommended, not required, what their recommended character details for characters that do have the unyielding trait. Unyielding trait characters are the characters that have the unyielding trait are what you're going to need in order to be able to complete the event campaign. If we actually filter out our roster now with characters that have the unyielding trait, there's some pretty good ones, right? Gam, Nebula, Zemo, Lady Deathstrike, Scarlet Spider, Spider-Punk. Phoenix is here. Deathpool, sorry, up top. Phoenix is here, but I mean, you're not going to 3-star any node with Phoenix, right? So I'm not like, oh, okay, great. Like, it would have been nice if they had given us Phoenix and then given us Beast, but there's no Beast. You have a couple of other characters that are it's worth mentioning here. America Chavez and Kate Bishop, if you probably invested into them. But the recommendation per node here kind of goes up per mission. So mission 2, level 70, G12. You get to mission 6, they're saying level 76, gear tier 13. And then you go all the way up to mission 9, where it says level 85, gear tier 15. What? Like, that's the recommendation? Now, this is Scopely and Boundless we're talking about here. They're not always as great when it comes to their recommended difficulties, like the recommended investment on characters. So, like, also you probably want to take that with a little bit of grain of salt, but we'll see, right? We'll see. This could make it a little bit more interesting. This could make it a little bit more interesting. Could make it a little bit more fun. Probably makes for some good content, in my opinion. We're gonna have to see exactly what that looks like. If this is the case, if this is gonna be more challenging, which ultimately will probably could potentially lead to more fun. A lot of the characters that are available, a lot of these endgame players are probably going to have them at level 85 and gear tier 15 anyway, so you're probably mostly fine with being able to get through it. My biggest thing, man, is just what are the rewards? Like, what are the rewards going to be? Like, that's really my concern right now. They didn't mention anything about rewards other than the first time rewards for both hard and heroic difficulties that you'll automatically earn them. That's great. However, the data mines mentioned teal gear, but how much teal gear are we getting? We have no idea as of yet. I just want it to be rewarding. If it's not rewarding, then who cares, right? Like, that's really the big deal for me. If it's rewarding, fine. If it's not rewarding, why do I care about doing this new heroic difficulty anyways? That's just kind of what I'm looking forward to. So what are your thoughts there? Let me know if you even care about this. Are you looking forward to trying a new heroic difficulty? Do you think that they're going too hard with trying to recommend mission 9 being level 85 and gear tier 15? Do you have some concerns there? You probably have a solid gripe if you do. So curious to see exactly how that works out. But some other data mines to talk about. Wong is going to, we know that he's going to be a blitz character now. They mentioned it here. Wong is ready to, this is a data mine again, and that talks about Wong being a blitz character. That's going to be on April 7th. That's going to be next week, Thursday. Right after, by the way, the successful brew milestone is complete, where you could have probably blitzed for a reason. Oh, damn it, guys. But yeah, that's going to be a blitz that's going to be showing up sometime next week. We also did get some information on a new character or a character going to the raid store, Dagger. That was also featured in the data mine as well. I'm glad that she's going to the raid store as opposed to like the arena orb, although it's been kind of a long time since we got a character in the arena orb or somewhere like the war store. Man, I would have disliked that completely if that was the case. So happy that she's going to the raid store and not any other store like the war store or the arena orb. Also would have mind her going to Blitz store too, though. Or it's been a while since Shang-Chi has been in that Blitz orb, right? Maybe throw rotating and putting those there would also be good, or maybe just making more campaign notes that you could actually put characters on campaign notes. That also probably works out well too, because right now I have 0 characters to farm from campaigns, so I have no idea what to do sometimes. All right, but yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the data mines. T'Challa Strike Pass is going to be starting tomorrow night on Tuesday night, so continue to collect your rewards for the Strike Pass today. But for tomorrow, after your day resets here, the objectives that you're going to collect tomorrow, wait until the nighttime to collect those so that you can get that credit towards the new Strike Pass. That's going to be going live tomorrow here. But next, we're going to talk about some other things, and then we'll wrap up. All right, y'all, wanted to give my brief 2 cents on the Marauders rework. I kind of talked about it a little bit already. I didn't make an Envoy video last week. Just didn't have the time, and honestly the information received wasn't as exciting because it was a Marauders rework with Madeline Pryor coming to the team here. And yeah, I mean, the Marauders, some of them got some stat boosts. Strife, Mystique, and Mr. Sinister got some pretty good stat boosts. You can see it here, like Strife's health went from 94th to 36, damage 73rd to 26, armor 67th to 22nd, focus 103 to 49, resistance got a pretty big boost, 144 to 54, which by the way is even going to be better in war because when he does have that charge, he's going to get an extra 500% resistance. Mystique, the most noticeable increase on her stats came from her focus, which was she was at 172nd before. Now she's 78. She has a stun in her kit and also the opportunity to be able to copy some positive effects, strip them. So therefore, it's may not be stripping. I don't really remember, but so they wanted to increase her focus to make sure that she was actually going to be able to land that in war. She also just get boosted focus as well from Madeline Pryor, an extra 20%. So that will have an impact there. And then Mr. Sinister boosted his health a little bit, boosted his damage a little bit, boosted his armor. No boost to his focus, but he was already 30th there anyways. But really big boost to his resistance, moving him from 81st to then number 11 overall in the game. But I mean, yeah, good boosted stats. And then Madeline Pryor, we got her kit in the game and saw what she's able to do. This team's supposed to be able to counter, right? Some of the teams that used to counter them before. So most noticeably, Shadowland. There's a lot of things in Madeline Pryor's kit that call directly to Shadowland, right? So offense down to brawler, and then blaster enemies. Disrupt to protector and controllers, ability block to support, so that she's going to be, if you're using Shadowland, she's ability block in Night Nurse. She's offense down in Moon Knight, Daredevil, Elektra, everybody else. She's putting the offense down on them if you have a protector. So they show this team going up against Uncanny and being able to disrupt Colossus and, of course, Phoenix. So there's a lot of stuff going that they pretty much basically reworked this kit to be able to do. And then, of course, in the passive, there's a call out as well to X Factor, where she lowers her crit chance by 50% for all mutants, which is a concern for X Factor Zemo. Although I do feel like just X Factor. I do feel like if you're using X Factor Zemo or like Namor X Factor or Yo-Yo X Factor, right? Because you can put Radar on her and she goes first, then they can still get that speed up. But for me, I just was a little underwhelmed with this team and underwhelmed with kind of the reason why they're building out this team. Their explanation, the devs were, hey, we're trying to make this team better so that they can be a little bit more, they were good before, they're not that great anymore. So we want to make them kind of a little bit better than they were before so that they can counter teams that used to counter them. I'm like, yeah, okay, great. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's enough to move the needle for players that aren't endgame. I feel like if you're an endgame player, maybe if you already invested into this team, then you can invest into this new character now that's being brought onto this team if you already have like a big strife and all that. And then, of course, like Madeline Pryor's kit outside of war has some pretty good stuff in the kit. My issue and concern is where you would have to use her, right? If you're trying to use her in Doom raids, she's too slow for the rest of the X-Men team, so I don't really see her being viable there. She's also a little squishy, but like her kit actually is okay outside of war. It's just not great to really make that impact that probably they were hoping it to make. So for me personally, I'm not quite sure why they even released this team. I'm not recommending anyone invest into this team. I definitely am not investing into this team. So I'm not quite sure why they brought this team around, but yeah, I was figured I'll talk about them since I didn't really talk about it in the Envoy video or in an Envoy video, and probably just explain why and just give my overall thoughts on the team overall. Maybe I'm missing something. If I am, let me know. I'm open to suggestions as always, guys. You guys know that already, but those are my thoughts on pretty much basically everything. Kind of just wrapping up here. Like, I'm really excited that Morgan Le Fay is a 3-star unlock. I just don't know what that means for the future, right? Like, what does that mean for the rest of the legendary horsemen? Are they also going to be 3-star unlocks too? Is Apocalypse really a 7-star unlock? If that's the case, then are you going to be following the model of you don't need to have characters at XYZ stars in order to be able to unlock Apocalypse at that level? And are you going to be lowering the difficulty? Because you said G19 plus, so that would be crazy if you did. I feel like they're doing some good stuff in the game right now that could be fun. I think they need to tighten up on their communication. They need to be a little bit more forthcoming with information too, because even when they do communicate, they still don't give you the full picture, i.e. Pocket Dimension. We've seen the data mines, Symbiote Spider-Man. We've seen Pocket in MSF.GG 50 Symbiote Spider-Man shards, but in their blog post, that information was not shared. Like, stuff like that bothers me a little bit. They need to loosen up the teal gear, man. There's a lot of teal gear right now that needs to be loosened up, in my opinion. It's been almost 5 months since Dark Dimension 5 has been started. And there's a lot of players that have not been able to enter into Dark Dimension yet. They need to loosen up that teal gear quite a bit. And then the Scourge event, I am hoping that they're going to release some information here in regards to Morgan Le Fay's Scourge event, because ultimately you've given us some info. We know about Web Warriors. We know about Dark Hunters. That's fine. However, what about the other restrictions that are going to be there as well? Players would need to know that so that they can also make adjustments to invest into their rosters. Give us time, guys, to be able to invest into our rosters in a way where we can complete that event. Stop forcing us into this panic mode. It is not good. You may think it's good for sales, but from what I've seen recently, there are a lot more players who are just like, F this, I'm just not going to care anymore. And I feel they also need to watch that as well. And that this is one of the reasons why. But listen, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Until next time, guys, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Oh, Pocket Dimension. Oh, Pocket Dimension. Starting tonight. Should be fun.